I'm Kenyatta Watson. I'm with JQ, and I Got Next.
What's going on, guys? I am JQ, the host of I Got Next, and joining me today is four-star athlete Kenyatta Watson II.
An amazing night for four Grayson High School football players. So big, they're calling them the Grayson Four, all of whom are announcing their college choices tonight live on Fox 5. Last hour, Kevin Harris told us he was going to Alabama, Wanye Morris to Tennessee, and that leaves two more who will now make their decisions public live on Fox 5 right now. Owen Pappoe and Kenyatta Watson.
He'll be joining the University of Texas at Austin as a talented quarterback. So the day is getting closer for you to become an official Longhorn. And I know you're anxious and ready to make that move. So talk to me about the anticipation that you're having right now.
Really the anticipation is just finally getting there and staying there and, becoming a part of the team. Going there for my spring break. I got to go to a lot of practices and watch them work out and hang out with the players. So it felt like I was already there. And I had to end up coming back home. So, I'm really just ready to get on campus and then get to work.
What is the feeling and the experience like being around great teammates? Because I follow the Texas football Twitter, and it's like they're always at 1,000. I love how amped they are, even with their social media postings.
It's just real cool. Like, a lot of them, it's not just a lot of people, they post stuff and say stuff and do stuff on the camera that's not them, right, unless it's on the camera. But them, like, that's literally, they act the exact same on the camera as they do off. If we go out, if we go to eat, if we're just hanging out in a room, wherever. So
they just recently posted something where they celebrated the second quarter and they had like an outstanding breakfast for the players. What's your favorite breakfast food to eat?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. They definitely had pancakes. Yeah. I think they also had bacon and eggs. Are you a good cooker? Can you cook?
I'm a pretty good cook when it comes to breakfast, but like other stuff, yeah.
So you were offered a lot of scholarships during your recruitment. Walk me through the recruiting process and how you came down to making that decision to join the Longhorns this season.
The recruiting process was really it was just lengthy. Like, it was a lot of stuff that you had to do, even if you didn't want to do, whether it was a interview or go to a college and look around, whether it was a camp. Me, from my personal experience, it was cool and all, but I was just kind of just like, all right, like, I just kind of want to choose my school and get it over with, because having all these coaches texting my phone and having me calling them back and all that, like, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I don't like to pick up my phone like that. So
you're not a phone person?
Nah.
Do you stay on the phone, like, looking at social media, at the different offers they're offering other athletes? And
yeah, from that standpoint, yeah, like, I'll be on social media to, like, see what's happening on my Twitter, which is mostly, like, football stuff. But other than that, like, I don't be calling people, texting people. I don't be doing all of that all the time, so.
Now, you talked about how lengthy the recruitment process was. If you could change one aspect of the recruiting or the recruitment, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. It would probably be like cutting out the schools that, they want you just because everybody else wants you. Like, somebody offer you and then it's all of a sudden, like, same day or a couple minutes later, hours later, they're like, oh, this scene so-and-so offered you, we want to offer you a scholarship, like that. Because then, at that point, it's just kind of like you kind of just like hopping on the wave. Right. So, like, just not do that and deal with the people who are actually, like, serious with you.
Yeah, because I do see that some college coaches would just post, offers on social media just to grab who they really want's attention.
Yeah.
So it does get, a little persuasive, and I know the recruitment process can be very stressful. How did you handle that, and talk to me about your support system?
How I handled it? I just kind of let it be what it was. I didn't really like stress it too much. Like, I kind of had an idea of the school where I want to go. what I'd want to play for what type of coach, things like that. So that kind of like narrowed that down in that aspect. But I mean, for my help, mostly really my dad, because he had been helping other people so much. Like he already knew like the ins and out of recruiting and, when coaches are BSing or not. And then also my other friends too, because, eventually you get to know people being a ranked player. So, knowing them too, they'll just tell you like little like tips here, like don't do this, don't do that, so.
Do you have any advice for any, player that's going through the recruiting process?
Just find that one school you're gonna like actually fall in love with, and you'll know when that is. Like, don't get caught up in like, when you go in that head coach's office and you see all them rings or they got all these jerseys, like that don't mean nothing. Like, there's plenty of players who don't go to schools like that, who still make it to the league, who get drafted top 10, top 20 in the first round, second round. So that's just, all that stuff is just, it's not important. Go there and, be able to see yourself there really for 4 years, 3 years, hopefully.
That is actually great advice, because I don't know how common it is in football, but in basketball, you'll have these kids that want to go to Duke and Kentucky just because of the name of it, and they find themselves not getting any playing time, not being a part, of the starting five or the sixth man, but they just want to go to the school just because such and such is there, or they're Duke and Kentucky, and so forth. So that is some great advice. Now talk to me about Grayson. That is a high-profile athletic football program. What was the experience like at Grayson?
Grayson really got me prepared, I think, physically more than anything else, ready for the next level, especially for Texas. Our spring and majority of the season is going to consist of hitting. Like for Grayson especially, we're known as a team that's going to do the best when we're backed up on the goal line. Like we're a team that's really going to, we're going to make those tackles, we're going to make those plays, and that's just kind of like how we were taught. Just go 110%, and there's nothing else other than that 110%. More if you got it. So Grayson really prepared me, especially in the summer with our strength and conditioning coaches, having like a heavy leg day and then going to the field for an hour and a half and running, and then they surprise us, we got 200s now. Like that's something that you as a player, you got to like mentally get past that, and like, even though you're in that place you don't want to be, that uncomfortable, tired place that you don't like, you got to be able to thrive in that area. So I think Grayson, for what it has or what it can provide for a player, that provided for me what I honestly needed at the next level.
You talked about Grayson preparing you for that next level, but was there at any point in time where you felt, and you and your teammates felt pressured to uphold that status that Grayson is known to have in their athletic football program?
I mean, yeah, but not really. Kind of everybody that, the people that we had on our team, we had a lot of known names. So, we had to other stuff aside from just Grayson that we had to like, kind of block out. So, I mean, we didn't really get too caught up in that. At the end of the day, stuff happens. You win games, you lose games. There's uncontrollable aspects of games that just happens, and you just got to let it be what it is. So, for the most part, we wanted to carry that, 2016 team? That 2016 championship on our back. Now, junior year, we had ended up losing in the second round or something like that. So after that, we had like a real bad taste in our mouth. So even though we lost in the third round, my senior year still, we felt like we had a lot to prove, even though we, didn't really pay too much attention to proving it to everybody but ourselves. So
everyone knows your father, Kenyatta Watson Sr. I'm pretty sure you've heard people say, Kenyatta got these offers because who his father is. But how did you build your own identity and prove to people that you are your own man?
Really, it was just going to camps. I was at the same camps Owen was at, and everybody else, when there was all, Jaden Hazelwood was at a camp or something, I was there. I might not have been doing the best at the time, but I was still growing just like every other player. eventually, just from going against such high profile athletes, even every day, having a quarterback at Grayson like Chase Bryce, and receivers coming through, having a guard D-Lo, Jam, all of them type people, it really helped me get my grind. And I don't think people outside of football really got to see that as much, because I don't think I was the type of kid that I had like a lot of TV time, I guess you could say. So a lot of people didn't really get to see me do a lot. Going to camps, people asking like, who am I? Then they realize who I am, and then they ask him why he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he can't do that. Like, I got to get it on my own, and it's always been like that. I didn't start till my 8th grade freshman year of high school.
Wow. Okay.
So that was my first time ever starting.
So everyone knows you as an amazing athlete, but what is one thing that people may not know about you?
That I'm probably unbeatable in Mortal Kombat, and I'm a good cook.
You're a good cook.
Yeah.
You did mention at the beginning of the conversation where breakfast was the only.
I mean, I can cook like lunch and dinner, but it's not like no extravagant. Like, it's like, I can hop on the grill and make something happen, make some spaghetti, macaroni, like stuff like that. But I can't really like.
So you can throw down in the kitchen, but you can't really throw down.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
I can feed myself.
You can feed yourself. That's good enough. So when you get to college, you shouldn't have to be eating like the oodles and noodles. You'll be actually in the kitchen cooking for everybody.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you had to give yourself a nickname, what would it be?
I can't even really give myself a nickname, because everybody's like, all my friends done came up with a nickname all throughout the years. Like, I've heard everything, so I really can't. That's a good one. I don't know one that I would use for myself, because I'm just so used to hearing everybody else call me one. So
Well, what do other people call you besides your first name?
KJ, K2, K-Dub,
Okay.
K-Watt.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
And on. Okay, all right. Lil Baby or Da Baby?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Yeah. The baby's up there, but he's not.
You know what? I was actually introduced to Da Baby about 2-3 months ago, and I think I heard, is it Texas Ranger?
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger, yeah. So ever since I heard that song, I've been a Da Baby fan. But before that, I was a Lil Baby fan.
Yeah.
If you could meet Lil Baby, what would you tell him?
Your music turned me up on game days.
So that's on your playlist before every game is Lil Baby?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word cold?
Well, I don't know how to answer that, like in a literal aspect, or
Anything, the first thing that comes to your mind.
like if I think of cold, I think of like good, like if somebody say like he cold, like he got that, like yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
What's your number one pet peeve?
I hate when my water gets refilled before I'm done finishing it when I'm at the restaurant. Like
Is that only just water, or is that just
any of my drinks, like let me finish my drink and then you can refill it when it's done. I want the satisfaction of finishing my drink first.
Have you ever told a waiter or waitress, like, can I finish my drink first?
Nah, I just try to like drink it super fast. and then they'll come and refill it like 6 or 7 times. Yeah.
I've never heard of a pet peeve like that before. Because I usually want my drink filled before I'm actually done with it.
I like it to be finished. Because then like it's like that's the thing. Like if you finish it, you're not gonna be so like fast to like want it refilled again.
Right.
But when you do finish it and then there's more, you always got more. Like, yeah.
Who's a better female rapper, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Okay, I don't listen to Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, and I haven't for a very long time.
Okay.
But I'll say Cardi B just because usually if she's rapping, she has somebody featured in her song, like Offset or something. So it's like, yeah, Cardi B, I guess.
If you can buy the most expensive item in the world, what would it be?
The most expensive item in the world?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a very like expensive person, so I don't really know how to answer that question, but I don't even know any expensive items in the world, like most expensive. I'd I'd probably like buy the brand of Tesla or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, those are really nice.
Yeah, something like
Hopefully I
that.
can get into one of those in a couple of years. I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen. Before we leave, I want to thank you so much, Kenyatta, for taking the time out of your busy schedule, even though I know you're going to go home and get some rest. But I want you to tell everybody why you got next.
I don't know, probably just from the years and years of hard work that finally, you know, started to amount up to something, whether it was me signing to Texas or Under Armour All-American, you know, just all the work that I put in on and off the field, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. So,
Thank you guys for watching. I'm JQ. It's Kenyatta. Go Longhorns.